The whole debate about made for this, right? About it just being 3%. Oh, 3%'s not that big of a deal. Killer mains are bitching, they're complaining, they're being babies. And, you know, after playing, it doesn't really affect me that much, to be honest, because I'm a Huntress main, and I can run an add-on like the Venomous Concoction to completely negate that for the most part. But survivors kept making the point that 3%'s not that big of a deal, and that killers were just bitching and complaining about it. And yet, who were the ones bitching and complaining nonstop about Huntress's U-Seed brew concoction? And they would not stop bitching about that add-on until it got removed from the game. Now, this isn't U-Seed brew concoction was a 3% hindrance for 30 seconds, but it was against a 110 killer. So if she hits you with that hatchet, she's only 113, like, on a technicality. You know what I mean? She's still not even a full movement speed killer, but people were bitching about it so hard. And they were complaining about how 3% is so crazy and so game-breaking that they ended up getting it removed from the game. And now the U-Seed Brew Concoction's a retired add-on, doesn't exist anymore. And then what? A year, 2 years later, they get made for this as a 3% permanent increase to speed boost, and they're gonna act like this isn't a big deal. Like, I mean, I don't really care, to be honest, because it's really not used that much, except for at the higher ranks. So, I mean, when everybody was using it, when it had like a 90% pick rate when the add-on first, or when the perk first came out, yeah, I was furious about it. But people really don't use it a lot until you get to the like red ranks, and then it starts to go up in popularity. But yeah, I just think that's so funny how people are saying 3%'s not that big of a deal and the shit's over exaggerated, but yet they would not stop bitching about Huntress's U-Seed brew concoction add-on because it hindered you by 3% for 30 seconds. It's like, yeah, no, either 3%'s a big deal or 3%'s not a big deal. You know what I mean? So you gotta pick one. Which one is it? Is 3% crazy? Is 3% insane? Or is 3% not that big of a deal? I mean, the choice is yours, but you gotta pick one of the two. Either you leave made for this in the game and give the Huntress her U-Seed brew concoction add-on back, which I would, is what I want, to be honest. Don't nerf made for this. Give me the U-Seed brew concoction back. Or you nerf made for this and you leave the U-Seed brew concoction out. I mean, that's how I feel about it. But yeah, I just think that's so funny. It was something that just crossed my mind the other day. Something I should have thought about way more when made for this was a more relevant topic of discussion. But yeah, how about you give me my U-Seed brew concoction back? It's 3% hindrance for 30 seconds. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big. It's just 3%. It's just 3%. It's just 3%. You know what I mean? How about you give me that add-on back, huh? I loved that add-on. That was one of my favorite add-ons. And you guys took it from me because 3% was... You can go on Reddit forums and the Dead by Daylight forums and shit like that and look at it. And people were livid about the 3%. Talking about how problematic the shit was, how game-breaking it is, how unbearable 3% slower is. And they bitched about it so much that they got the add-on taken out of the game. It's a retired add-on now. But then all of a sudden, a year later, 2 years later, made for this comes out, and 3% is not that big of a deal. You gotta pick one. Is made for this, is 3% a big deal, or is it not? Because if it's not a big deal, then you should give me my U-Seed brew concoction back. With the made for this meta at the high ranks, because it really doesn't get picked that much below like gold. If I hit somebody who hasn't made for this with the U-Seed brew concoction, guess what? They're 100% movement speed. I just think that's funny. I think that's funny. Either 3%'s a big deal or it's not a big deal. You got to make your choice, because people were raging about the U-Seed brew concoction, talking about how 3% slower is absolutely unbearable, so unfair, it shouldn't be in the game, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I just want to talk about that real quick. It's something I don't know why I just now made a video about it. I've been thinking about it for forever, but yeah. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Either it's a big deal or it's not a big deal. How about you give me my U-Seed brew concoction back, huh? How about that? How about that?